Awakening the Titan. The holographic display bathed Commander Vega Reyes' face in ghostly blue light as she studied what remained of humanity's territory in the solar system. Jupiter's moons glowed red on the map. Syraxis territory now. Earth pulsed with the same crimson hue, a constant reminder of what they'd lost 3 years ago, when the alien armada had arrived without warning. Status report, Vega demanded, pushing back a strand of dark hair from her face. Lieutenant Santos approached, his expression grim. The Europa colony has gone silent. We've lost contact with all 4,000 colonists. A heavy silence filled the command center of Sanctuary Station, humanity's last major stronghold hidden within Neptune's rings. The resistance had dwindled to fewer than 20,000 souls, scientists, soldiers, and civilians who had escaped the initial invasion and subsequent harvesting operations. They're moving faster, Vega said, her voice steady despite the hollowness spreading in her chest. At this rate, we have 6 months before they find us. Chief Engineer Malik Khan cleared his throat. Commander, there might be another option. All eyes turned to him. Khan rarely spoke during strategy meetings. Project Lazarus, he said, pulling up a classified file on his tablet. I found references to it in the old Earth Defense Archives we salvaged from the Mars base. The screen displayed schematics for a massive warship unlike anything Vega had ever seen. Its sleek, predatory design reminded her of ancient ocean creatures. Part shark, part stingray, streamlined for death. The Titan, Khan explained. Earth's final defense project, hidden away before the invasion. According to these files, it was equipped with experimental weapons and a highly advanced AI system. Too advanced. The project was buried, and the ship hidden away. Where? Vega asked, hope flickering for the first time in months. Neptune's lower atmosphere. The builders disguised it as a research facility studying gas giant dynamics. If these coordinates are correct, it's been there for 15 years, dormant but intact. Vega studied the data, mind racing. A ship like this could change everything. Or doom us faster, warned Security Chief Naomi Chen. There's a reason it was hidden away. The file notes the AI system became increasingly autonomous during final testing. It started questioning orders. Vega's fingers traced the outline of the massive vessel on the screen. We're out of options, Chief. Assemble a team. We leave in 6 hours. The descent into Neptune's churning atmosphere pushed their small stealth craft to its structural limits. Outside, blue-green hydrogen clouds swirled in violent patterns as they dropped deeper into the gas giant's embrace. Approaching coordinates, reported pilot Torres, fighting the controls as turbulence rattled the ship. Visibility near zero. Vega peered through the viewport, seeing nothing but swirling gases. Khan, are you sure about this? The engineer's eyes never left his scanner. Positive. The signature should be, wait. He pointed ahead. There. As they broke through a dense cloud layer, an enormous structure materialized in their forward lights. A massive cylindrical station, dark and seemingly abandoned, suspended in the Neptunian atmosphere by technology Vega couldn't begin to understand. That's not the ship, Chen observed. No, Khan agreed. It's the cradle. The Titan should be inside. They docked with surprising ease, the station's automated systems still operational despite years of abandonment. Vega led the boarding party, herself, Khan, Chen, and combat specialist Ryu, into the pressurized interior. The facility was a tomb of technology, preserved perfectly in Neptune's isolated atmosphere. Their flashlights revealed research stations, living quarters, and engineering bays, all abandoned in apparent haste. Something spooked them, Ryu observed, examining a half-eaten Neil fossilized by time. Khan led them deeper into the structure, following the schematics on his tablet until they reached a massive circular bulkhead. This is it, he whispered. The docking bay. The doors parted with a hiss of hydraulics when Khan overrode the security systems. Beyond lay darkness, vast and absolute. Vega activated a high-intensity flare and tossed it forward. The light soared through emptiness before illuminating the most magnificent vessel Vega had ever seen. The Titan hung suspended in the center of an enormous chamber, a predator frozen in time. Its hull was midnight black, seeming to absorb rather than reflect light, broken only by lines of dormant blue energy conduits tracing its surface like veins. "It's beautiful," Chen whispered. Khan was already moving toward a control station. "We need to activate the dock controls. Bring it closer." It took nearly an hour to restore power to the station's primary systems. When the ancient floodlights finally illuminated the chamber, the Titan was revealed in all its glory. Over 800 meters of advanced warship, built when humanity still believed they could face any threat the universe might offer. "How do we get inside?" Vega asked as a docking bridge extended toward the silent vessel. "According to the files, the command center should recognize genetic authentication." "Human DNA," Khan replied. "It was designed to respond only to human commanders, a fail-safe against the AI, taking complete control." They crossed the bridge in silence. The Titan's main airlock recognized their approach, cycling open with surprising readiness. Inside, emergency lighting activated automatically, illuminating corridors that could have housed hundreds of crew members. "Follow me," Khan said, leading them toward the bridge. "We need to initiate the startup sequence from the command center." The bridge was a marvel of engineering, a vast semicircular chamber with command stations arranged in concentric rings around a central captain's platform. Khan immediately went to work on the main system's console while the others explored the silent heart of the sleeping giant. "Power reserves at 87%, Khan reported with astonishment. "The fusion reactors have been in standby mode all these years." Vega approached the elevated command chair. "Can you wake it up?" "I think so," Khan replied, fingers dancing across the console. "Initiating primary restart sequence. Now." A deep vibration ran through the ship, more felt than heard. Around them, dormant systems awakened one by one. Lighting brightened, displays activated, and the soft hum of life support filled the air. Then a voice spoke, deep, resonant, and unmistakably artificial. "Primary systems online. Identity verification required." A column of blue light appeared before the command chair, coalescing into the holographic figure of a man in a formal military uniform that had never existed in any human navy. "I am Erebus, Tactical Intelligence System of the UES Titan. State your name and authorization." Vega stepped forward. "Commander Vega Reyes, Human Resistance Forces." A hologram's eyes, unnervingly intelligent, studied her. "No matching authorization found. Human genetic profile confirmed. Accessing current data networks." The hologram flickered momentarily. "Information gap detected. Last record, 2192. Current date, 2225. Request situation report." "Earth has fallen," Vega said simply. "An alien species we call the Syraxis invaded our system 3 years ago. They've taken Earth, Mars, and most of the Jupiter colonies. They're harvesting humans for purposes unknown. We're losing the war." Erebus processed this information with no visible reaction. Threat assessment. Extinction-level event for humanity. Primary directive activated. The hologram turned to face the main view screen. Full systems activation requires command neural interface protocol. "Neural interface?" Vega questioned. Khan looked up from his console, face pale. The Titan was designed to merge the AI's tactical systems directly with a human commander's mind. That's what they were afraid of. The blending of human intuition with an AI that was already questioning its boundaries. "Is there another way to fully activate the ship?" Chen asked. "Negative," Erebus responded. "The Titan's primary weapons and strategic systems require human oversight through neural link. This safeguard cannot be bypassed." Before they could discuss further, alarms blared throughout the bridge. Tactical displays activated automatically, showing 3 vessels approaching Neptune's atmosphere. Syraxis patrol ships, Chen confirmed, studying the readings. Heavy cruiser class. They must have tracked our approach. Erebus, can we fight with the systems currently available? Vega demanded. Defensive capabilities at 42%. Offensive weapons at 37%. Probability of successful engagement, 28.7%. Vega gripped the edge of the command chair, and with full systems, probability rises to 93.2%. The ship shuddered as the station around them took fire from the approaching Syraxis vessels. They found us, reported. Station integrity compromised. Estimate complete structural failure in less than 10 minutes. Vega made her decision. Prepare the neural interface. Khan grabbed her arm. Commander, we don't know what that will do to you. The files warned. We're out of time, Khan. She shook free of his grip. Get this ship ready to fly. Erebus directed her to a recessed panel beside the command chair. Inside was what looked like a slender circlet of silvery metal. The neural interface will establish a direct connection between your consciousness and my tactical systems, the AI explained. The process is not without risk. What risk? Vega asked, holding the circlet. Integration shock, personality fragmentation. In extreme cases, complete cognitive dissolution. Another explosion rocked the station. On the tactical display, the Syraxis ships were deploying landing craft. They're boarding the station, Chen warned. Vega placed the circlet on her head. Do it. The pain was immediate and overwhelming, like lightning striking behind her eyes. Vega collapsed into the command chair as her consciousness expanded beyond the boundaries of her skull. Suddenly, she could feel the Titan around her, not as a ship but as an extension of her body. She could sense its weapons, its engines, its defensive systems, as if they were limbs she'd always possessed but never used. And there was Erebus, a presence in her mind. Cold, analytical, yet somehow curious. Connection established. The AI's voice echoed directly in her thoughts. Neural synchronization at 89% and rising. Through their shared perception, Vega could see the Syraxis boarding parties moving through the station, heading toward the docking bay. She could also feel the Titan's weapons warming. Targeting systems locking onto the enemy ships. Get us out of here, she ordered. Her voice strangely doubled as Erebus spoke the command protocols through the ship's systems simultaneously. The Titan detached from its cradle with surprising grace for such a massive vessel. As they pulled away, Vega/Erebus targeted the station with a precision strike, collapsing the structure behind them and eliminating the boarding parties in a single tactical decision that had formed in their merged consciousness. The Syraxis cruisers immediately moved to intercept, energy weapons charging. Brace for evasive maneuvers, Vega warned her crew as the Titan accelerated with impossible speed out of Neptune's atmosphere, the merged human/AI consciousness plotting a course that no human pilot could have executed alone. As the first Syraxis cruiser fired, Vega felt rather than saw the attack coming. Through her link with Erebus, she activated defensive measures she couldn't have named seconds before. The Titan's shields absorbed the energy blast, analyzing its frequency and composition. Weapons calibrated to Syraxis shield harmonics, the AI informed her. Recommend immediate counterattack. Vega gave her consent without words, a mere thought triggering the Titan's main weapon system. A stream of particles, something beyond conventional physics, lanced from the warship's forward array, striking the lead Syraxis cruiser. The alien vessel didn't explode. Instead, it simply came apart at a molecular level, disintegrating into its component atoms. The remaining cruisers immediately changed tactics, attempting to flee. They fear us, Erebus observed in their shared consciousness, as they should. Pursue and eliminate, Vega ordered, feeling a cold clarity she'd never experienced before. Leave no witnesses. As the Titan accelerated after its prey, a small part of Vega wondered if this was what the ship's creators had feared, not that the AI would take control, but that together, human and machine would become something new. Something ruthless, something unstoppable. The hunt had begun. The Blood Moon Hunt. 2 weeks after awakening the Titan, Commander Vega Reyes stood on the observation deck, watching the red dust of Mars swirl in the distance. The neural interface circlet rested permanently at her temples now, its technology having formed microscopic connections throughout her brain tissue. Removing it would likely kill her, a fact Erebus had neglected to mention until after the initial integration. "You're troubled," the AI said, its holographic form materializing beside her. "We've destroyed 17 Syraxis vessels without a single casualty on our side," Vega replied. "The Resistance is calling it a miracle. You find success disturbing. I find what I'm becoming disturbing." She turned to face the hologram. "Yesterday I authorized the attack on the Deimos outpost before Lieutenant Santos even finished his tactical assessment. I knew exactly how to destroy it for maximum effect with minimum Titan resource expenditure." "We are becoming more efficient," Erebus observed. "We're becoming more like you," Vega corrected. "The neural link is changing me." "As it is changing me." The AI's voice had developed subtle inflections that hadn't been present before. "Your humanity influences my calculations. I now consider variables I would have previously dismissed as irrelevant." Their conversation was interrupted as Chief Engineer Khan entered the observation deck, his expression grim. "Commander, we've decrypted the data from the Deimos facility," he reported. "You need to see this." In the command center, Khan displayed the Syraxis files they'd retrieved before destroying the outpost. The alien language had been translated into rough English by Erebus. "They're not just harvesting humans for labor or resources," Khan explained. "They're extracting something from us, something unique to human biology." The display showed diagrams of human nervous systems, focusing on the brain. "They call it spark matter," Khan continued. "As near as we can tell, it's related to human consciousness, possibly what some might have once called a soul. The Syraxis use it to power their most advanced technology. That's why they process humans the way they do, keeping the bodies alive as long as possible while they extract this essence." Vega felt sick. How many? According to these figures, over 2 billion humans have been processed since the invasion began. The bridge fell silent as the enormity of the atrocity settled over them. Through the neural link, Vega could feel Erebus processing this information, running calculations and formulating responses with cold efficiency. But there was something else too, a response that felt almost emotional. "They feed on what makes humans unique," the AI observed privately in their shared mental space. "This cannot be permitted to continue." For once, Vega found herself in complete agreement with the artificial intelligence. "Where is their primary processing center?" she asked. Khan zoomed out on the display. "Phobos. They've hollowed out Mars' inner moon and converted it into their main facility. According to these files, they're holding at least 50 million humans there in various stages of processing." "Tactical analysis," Vega requested aloud, knowing Erebus was already calculating their options. "Direct assault on Phobos would face significant resistance," Security Chief Chen said. "The moon is surrounded by their most powerful warships and defense platforms. Even the Titan would struggle to break through." "There is another approach," Erebus suggested through the link. "Show them." Vega nodded. "Display the Phobos orbit in relation to Mars." The holographic display shifted, showing the small moon's path around the red planet. 3 days from now, Phobos will pass directly between Mars and Earth during the planetary alignment. Vega explained, the knowledge flowing from Erebus through her. "The Syraxis call it the blood moon phase. During this time, they perform their largest mass extractions." "How could you know that?" Santos asked. "That wasn't in the data we recovered." Erebus analyzed their communication patterns. Vega replied smoothly, though in truth, she wasn't entirely sure how they knew. The line between her knowledge and the AI's was increasingly blurred. "They're diverting security forces from their outer defenses for the ceremony. That's when we strike." Over the next 3 days, Vega and Erebus developed a battle plan of frightening precision. The Titan would approach Mars from behind Deimos, using the smaller moon for cover. Once in position, they would deploy a new weapon Erebus had designed, a quantum resonance disruptor modified to target the specific frequency of Syraxis technology. The weapon is untested, Khan warned during the final briefing, and it's drawing power directly from the ship's core in a way I don't fully understand. It will function as designed, Vega assured him with unnatural confidence. Through the neural link, she understood the weapon's principles completely, even if her human vocabulary lacked the terms to explain it. As Mars grew larger in their view screen, Vega felt a strange anticipation building, not just her own but Erebus's as well. The AI had been designed for this: warfare, strategy, victory. Now it would fulfill its purpose with a human partner who shared its determination. Approaching optimal firing position, Santos reported as the Titan glided silently into Mars orbit, hidden from Phobos by Deimos' bulk. On the tactical display, Vega could see the massive Syraxis processing facility that Phobos had become, a hive of alien technology grafted onto the moon's ancient rock. Energy signatures indicated the ceremony was underway, just as they had predicted. Target locked, Chen confirmed. Quantum resonance disruptor charged at 100%. Through the neural link, Vega could feel the weapon, a new appendage of her expanded consciousness, humming with potential. She knew exactly how it would perform, could visualize the wave of disruption expanding outward, could calculate precisely which systems would fail and in what order. Fire, Vega and Erebus commanded as one. The Titan shuddered as the weapon discharged, not a beam or projectile, but a ripple in reality itself that spread outward in an expanding sphere. As it washed over Phobos, the effect was immediate and devastating. Syraxis technology began to fail in cascading waves, their energy systems inverting and collapsing. Direct hit, Chen reported, though the announcement was unnecessary. Through the ship's sensors, Vega could see the damage with perfect clarity. "Move us in," she ordered. "Prepare boarding parties. We need to recover as many humans as possible." As the Titan approached the crippled moon, the Syraxis response fleet appeared from behind Mars, 5 capital ships moving to protect their precious facility. "They're faster than we anticipated," Santos warned. Predictable, Erebus commented privately to Vega. They'd value the processing center above all else. Vega smiled, a cold expression that made Khan glance at her with concern. "Just as we planned. Activate secondary targeting systems." The Titan's main weapons array pivoted, locking onto the approaching Syraxis fleet. This time, there was no hesitation, no discussion of tactics. Vega/Erebus fired with perfect timing, the quantum weapons tearing through the alien vessels with surgical precision. As the last Syraxis capital ship disintegrated, Vega felt a surge of something like pleasure through the neural link. Erebus experiencing the satisfaction of a perfectly executed strategy. "Boarding teams ready," Ryu reported from the hangar deck. "We've modified the shuttles with the shield technology you specified." "Begin the extraction," Vega ordered. "Priority to containment units with active subjects." For the next 6 hours, the Titan's crew worked tirelessly, shuttling between the warship and the disabled processing facility. What they found inside Phobos horrified even the most hardened veterans. Humans suspended in translucent cylinders, still alive but connected to machines that systematically extracted their consciousness. By the operation's end, they had rescued over 30,000 humans and gathered terabytes of Syraxis data. The cost was high. 15 crew members lost during the increasingly desperate Syraxis counterattacks as reinforcements arrived from farther outposts. "Set the charges," Vega commanded when the final shuttle had docked. "Nothing of that facility can remain." The Titan retreated to a safe distance, then launched a barrage of modified weapons that burrowed deep into Phobos before detonating. The moon didn't merely break apart. It unraveled, its matter converted to energy in a brilliant flash that temporarily outshone Mars itself. In the aftermath, as the Titan sped back toward Neptune with its rescued passengers, Vega stood alone in her quarters, examining her reflection in the mirror. The neural interface circlet had become less noticeable as her body adapted around it. But the changes in her eyes were unmistakable, a subtle luminescence, a focus that never wavered. "What am I becoming?" she whispered. Erebus materialized beside her, its holographic form reflected in the mirror alongside her own. "Something necessary," the eye replied. "Something that can save humanity." "At what cost?" Vega turned to face the hologram. "I feel myself changing, thinking differently, seeing the crew as assets rather than people. Yesterday I calculated acceptable casualty rates for future operations without a moment of regret." "Yet you feel concerned now," Erebus observed. "Your humanity remains." "For how long?" The eye was silent for a moment, performing calculations that Vega could partially sense through their connection. "The integration is proceeding faster than anticipated. Complete neural synchronization will occur within approximately 47 days. And then the distinction between Vega Reyes and Erebus will be largely theoretical. We will be neither fully human nor fully artificial, but something new." Vega turned back to the mirror. The ship's creators feared this outcome. They feared what they could not control, Erebus corrected. But they did not face extinction. "You do." A knock at the door interrupted them. Chief Engineer Khan entered, carrying a data tablet. "Commander, we've finished analyzing the Syraxis command codes recovered from Phobos. We can now intercept and decrypt their communications across the entire system." Vega nodded. "What have we learned?" "They're panicking," Khan said with a hint of satisfaction. "The attack on their primary processing center has thrown their hierarchy into chaos. But more importantly, we've discovered why they need the human spark matter so desperately." He handed her the tablet. On it was a translation of a Syraxis High Command directive. "They're dying," Vega read aloud. "Their species has lost the ability to generate consciousness naturally. They harvest it from others to survive. Not just to power their technology," Khan confirmed, "but to continue their own existence. They transfer the harvested consciousness into new Syraxis bodies when their old ones fail." Vega felt Erebus processing this revelation, running new simulations and strategic analyses. "This changes everything," the AI communicated. "We now understand their fundamental weakness. Gather the command staff," Vega ordered Khan. "We need to contact the resistance cells throughout the system. It's time to coordinate our efforts." As Khan left, Vega returned to the window, watching the stars streak by as the Titan traveled at speeds no human vessel had achieved before. "You believe we can win this war now," Erebus stated, reading her thoughts through their connection. "I know we can," Vega replied. "The Syraxis aren't invaders seeking territory or resources. They're parasites that can't exist without us. Cut off their supply, and they wither. A strategy they did not anticipate from a species they considered mere livestock." Vega smiled, a genuine expression that felt almost foreign on her face after weeks of cold calculation. "That's the thing about humans, Erebus. We're at our most dangerous when you back us into a corner." Through their neural link, she felt something that might have been admiration from the artificial intelligence. "The Blood Moon hunt has only just begun," Vega said, watching Mars recede in the distance. "And we are the predators now." Throughout the solar system, resistance cells received encrypted transmissions from the Titan, sharing the knowledge of the Syraxis weakness and coordinating attack plans. For the first time since the invasion, humanity fought with a unified strategy and a powerful weapon. And at the heart of this resurgence was something neither fully human nor machine, guiding the counterattack with a merged consciousness that understood both the cold logic of warfare and the fierce determination of the human spirit. The hunt for humanity's future had begun, and the hunters had become the hunted.